As a youngin' growing up in the unforgiving streets of St. Louis, Missouri, back in the US, life was always busy. For anyone that doesn't know, this city has its fair share of crime. Drugs and violence are nearly a staple, unfortunately. There's never a shortage of something worrisome. Distant sounds of sirens will constantly remind you of that. Some of the worst things a person could ever think of could possibly occur right next door. And I don't personally think I could ever rid myself of the constant feeling of needing to be on guard that these environments trained in me. It indeed made daily life tense. I used to think that to escape all of that, I needed to be rich or massively successful. I guess I convinced myself that having a lot of money and status was the key to escaping, the key to happiness. That was my idea of what being far removed from this harsh reality of my environment looked like. As I've grown, my perspective has changed. I think I now know where true happiness comes from and what it might look like. And it isn't necessarily in having lots of money or even status. Sure, money has its place. I would never say that I couldn't improve upon my life or lifestyle the more I have of it. It's just that, in my opinion, a greater joy can be had. And it can be found in appreciating more the little things in life, the simple things. Things that I had overlooked before are now the things that bring me the most peace and happiness. Like, I remember the first time I truly appreciated a quiet moment in a park. Sunny day, I'm sat on a bench, listening to the leaves rustle in the breeze and the distant laughter of children playing. Let me tell you, the sense of calm that I experienced right there and understanding it, recognizing it, brought what really mattered in life directly to my soul. It's peace. So tell me how now, walking, just taking a walk, makes more sense than it ever did before. Just putting one foot in front of the other, breathing in the fresh air, and feeling the ground beneath my feet. I'm not going anywhere in particular, I'm just living. My mind isn't on the perils of society. I'm not bothered by anything. And without those distractions, I'm able to notice the beauty of nature around me. Trees, flowers, birds, all the things that I never would have even noticed before. It's almost like discovering a whole new world that has been there all along, just waiting for me to notice. Judge me if you wish, but I'm also a people watcher. I like to observe people as they go about their day. It's almost like getting to see life from other perspectives. I'll ask myself questions like, I wonder what this guy is thinking. Or think things to myself like, wow, that little girl really likes her balloon. Or, what a loving family that is having lunch with each other right there. It's kind of a connection with the world in a real innocent way. It's relaxing to see expressions on people's faces, hear the laughter and the murmur of conversations, children playing with their boundless energy and carefree spirits. Oh, those simple joys of childhood. Stories being told with each person that passes by. Where are they going? What are their lives like? But even the quiet moments, reflection moments, when you see that everyone has their own unique story, to me, that in itself is beautiful. One of the best parts about my life here in Europe is very accessibly being able to skip to nearby countries like Austria or the Netherlands or even Switzerland, as you see here. Since each country has its own unique charm and beauty, I'm able to appreciate the little things all over again each time I go to a new place, in new environments and societies. And that experience just might differ each time. Being able to hop on a train and explore adds so much richness to life. Every trip feels like an adventure, a chance at new discovery. This is one privilege that I will never take for granted. If living far away from the overwhelming streets of my hometown has taught me anything, it's appreciation. I live a pretty calm existence, in contrast. I often wake up with a sense of gratitude for the simplest of routines. It could be enjoying my daily morning cup of coffee or an afternoon stroll, or even observing the evening sunset. These are the things that make life fulfilling, at least to me. Every day I remind myself that happiness is not about what I have, but about how I choose to see the world. And I choose to see it through the lens of appreciation and gratitude for the simple, beautiful moments that make life worth living. I've learned that true wealth is not necessarily measured by money or possessions, but by the richness of experiences and the joy found in everyday life. It's about finding beauty in the ordinary and understanding that sometimes the smallest things can bring the greatest happiness. Every day I remind myself that happiness is not about what I have, but how I choose to see the world. And I choose to see it through the lens of appreciation and gratitude for the simple, beautiful moments that make life worth living. I've learned that true wealth is not necessarily measured by money or possessions, but by the richness of experiences and the joy found in everyday life. It's about finding beauty in the ordinary and understanding that sometimes the smallest things can bring the greatest happiness. If you want to know what I find really cool, it's these little, I call them gangways because that's what they call them where I'm from. These little gangways, but they're little areas where they cut through the buildings to go to separate areas of the city. And there's tons of them. They're all small and tiny, and they just lead to different places. And actually, these are people's apartments and stuff. And you probably can't tell on camera, but these little areas are really small and really tight, and I like it. See if you can see.
Come closer though.
Look how small and tight that is. That's where I just came from. Very small, very tight, and it's off of a larger, what I call gangway. And you can see they still have lots of food and stuff going on and activities happening. It's really nice. Oh, here's another one. Super nice.